Welcome back into the Red Zone. We're joined now by junior corner Stewart Charles and sophomore tailback Nick Kukuc. Stu, you had 7 tackles on Saturday, 2 pass breakups, and we're starting to get used to these performances from this defense where you guys just kind of shut everything down. And is it the veteran leadership? What is it that you guys seem to be working as a unit, and it looks like you look like one whole defense out there rather than 11 guys?
It's pretty much what Coach Ponks keeps emphasizing to us every week is have confidence in your teammates. And when you have confidence in I have confidence in my entire in the entire secondary, the linebacker unit, and the D-line, and it all just comes together when you have confidence in each other. And
Coach Thorne always is talking about, you guys always need to be having fun out there. I'm sure when you got the defensive lineman picking up 6 sacks, picking up all these sacks a game, you guys are picking off passes, starting to return them. You guys are having a blast, aren't you?
Yeah, especially, when I'm on the field and I see Wanger just crack someone and start, talking trash, I really get into it. It's a pretty awesome experience.
So you guys are, enjoying your time out there, definitely.
Yeah.
For sure. And Nick, on the other side of the ball with this rushing attack, you and Jordan kind of seem to be the yin and the yang to each other. He's the power guy. You're the speed guy. He's the guy that went to Naperville North. You're the guy that went to Naperville Central. But all in all, you guys really seem to complement each other well. When one team tries to key on one of you guys, the other one really breaks out.
Absolutely. That's why we've been kind of going with this way of he takes a few carries and I'll come in. So when they're expecting it up the middle or just a power back, then I'll come in and make a move on somebody. But there was a couple runs where Jordan put a few moves on some people this game, so he did extremely well the last 2 weeks.
And you got a little power in you too. It seems like, every once in a while I still see you lower the shoulder, knock a guy over. You guys are both pretty complete backs, it seems like.
Yeah, sometimes I just forget I have it. I focus on the speed too much instead of the power.
And we chit-chatting a little bit earlier, your touchdown late in the game on the screen pass, you're going to the left, you cut back. I imagine every football coach that was in that stadium is thinking, no, and then you broke it. What was going through your head when that happened?
Well, we ran the play earlier in the game, and younger Coach Thorne said, use your blockers next time. And I decided to use my blockers. There was people in front of me, so I decided to cut back under the wall, and I just kept going. Nick Hicks was waiting on the other side to throw a great block to get me in the end zone. I took a little peek, and I saw just an open lane, and I just ran down the 30-yard line or 40-yard line for a good 5 steps, and then decided to cut it back up.
And Coach Thorne, you always talk about how important speed is in this game. And when you have a guy like Nick who can pull something off like that, I'm sure that's exactly what you're talking about, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. When you see somebody break one and it looks like they're running faster than everybody else on the whole field, that's when you know you've got really, good college speed. And we've got several guys that can do that. We just need to keep getting them in the field where they open spaces where they can do it and have fun with it.
And we talk about that play. Kind of what was kind of going through your head when you start to see him cut that back?
Well, when he first cut it back, I saw the same thing Nick was just talking about. I said, oh my gosh, we got a lot of blockers right there. This could go somewhere. But, I thought, you're cutting back to 10 more guys, 8, 9, 10 people. Mm-hmm. Somebody should make it's going to be a 10-yard gain, 15-yard gain. Then all of a sudden, I see Nick Hicks waving him and coming up, and that was the last guy. Mm-hmm. And so it went all the way. It was really fun. The whole sidelines got excited.
And Nick, this rushing attack has been very good this year, 21st in the nation in rushing per game. And, you guys as backs are obviously really good playmakers, but how much has this offensive line grown as the year gone on? And it seems like they're really firing out, really gelling as a unit.
Well, that's the reason. That's the main reason why we're where we're at right now. We couldn't do it without him. I mean, you could have the fastest guy in the NCAA in the backfield, but if you have nobody blocking for him, you can't do anything with it. And the people up front have been doing a great job. I mean, every week they're getting better. It's not just they haven't peaked yet. There's still more room for better football, and they're going to get it.
Well, the line play is going to be a huge factor when the Cardinals travel to Wheaton on Saturday. The game is part of a rivalry between two towns that dates back to the 1840s. We have the story of the Little Brass Bell in this week's Cardinal Corner. It started as a rivalry between two cities, over who would own the DuPage County Courthouse. In 1946, the little brass bell became the prize coveted by North Central Cardinals and Wheaton Thunder.
When I was playing, I'd never won the bell in 4 years. But then once Tyke got here, that's around the time that North Central's football program really started to take a lot of steps up. So it became about, hey, let's get this bell, let's win it, and do something that, you know, myself and my teammates weren't able to accomplish.
Every year we prepare to play Wheaton. You know, we get excited. This is the game we get excited about.
We'd love to play Wheaton every single week. It's no disrespect to any other team, but it's an important game to us. It's important to our players, our coaches, administration, the whole school.
I think you start with just the tradition that, you know, it's a game that's been played for a long time. We've been playing a lot of these conference teams for a long time, but this one has always held more significance because there's a bell and there's a trophy associated with it.
And as a youngster, I don't think I really appreciated the importance of that rivalry game. You know, you really don't understand why everybody's getting so excited. But when we won it again when I was a senior, after 3 other tries at it, you know, it was awesome.
There's something that's visual on a yearly basis for 365 days that you either see or you don't see. The freshmen haven't seen it, and the seniors are trying to explain to them what it looks like.
I look at the guys that have made the sacrifices, guys that are going to one class just so they can come back and play this final season of football, guys like Derek Sulo and Matt Wanger and Scott Hogan, guys really sacrificing, going into the working world just so they can finish out this one last season.
The competitiveness of the game and what Coach Thorne has brought to that program really has driven the stakes higher to a certain extent, absolutely.
National media attention on the game, de facto CCIW championship on the game, and automatic qualifier. You know, the guys need to be emotional about this game. They need to be excited to play this game, and they need to go out and do what they need to do individually so we can work as a unit and win this game. And it's going to be like that on both sides. I know Wheaton's telling their kids the same thing. So it's really one of those games that, I don't know if I want to call it a perfect storm, but it brings everything from the last 6 years that I've been a part of and everything from the entire rivalry that everybody's been a part of. It's
my 15th as a head coach, so I've been here a long time, and I've had the good fortune of bringing the bell back. And you are exactly right. You know, kids see in Division I football all the time people hoisting trophies, you know, rivalry trophies or national championship trophies. That's a lot of fun to do, you know, to hoist something after a game. And you know, finally, I shouldn't say finally, but this is the opportunity that our kids have to do that. And there's something exhilarating about doing that. There's no question.
It's mass euphoria. You know, once that clock hits 0, everybody starts screaming, everybody starts yelling.
Complete satisfaction. You know, football is a unique sport in that you put everything into 3 hours a week. I mean, you work 80, 90, 100 hours as coaches, and the players are putting in many, many hours, all for one game, all for 60 minutes. And at the end of the day, when it's 4 o'clock, you've been playing for 3 hours, and to know that you just accomplished your goal, there's nothing like it.
Stu, you played in 2 of these games. What kind of is the atmosphere that it seems that things kind of get amped up as the week goes on for this Wheaton game?
I remember my freshman year. I didn't play that game. I was a freshman, and I just remember the entire week. It was just a different atmosphere that was brought to practice, a different intensity, because you know, when you play Wheaton, usually both teams are very good. Everything's on the line, conference championship for the most part, just like this year. And I just remember that game. It was one of the coolest games I've ever experienced that I did not play in. But it was really fun to watch our seniors and juniors play that year.
And it just kind of has an aura around it between the 2 colleges that, you know, it seems like people not even involved with the college even come to flock to these games, right?
Yeah. But there's also like other added incentives in there for me, because I have a friend on Wheaton. I've been friends with him since 2nd grade.
Okay.
And I have Thanksgiving with his family every year for like the past 15 years. So there's going to be some trash talking going on during
so be like, pass the turkey, yeah, we beat you guys this year.
Yeah, and I also wear the rings to the dinner as well. So
that should be fun. Yeah. It's a little bit harder to concentrate in class this week, maybe?
A little bit, but class always comes first, right, Coach?
That's right.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's when this game comes around, I mean, last year I took a couple snaps in the game. There were a couple plays designed for me to be in there, but it's very exciting. Coach gets really excited for Wheaton Week. like he said, he wished it Sweeten Week every week.
Well, it's going to be a fun one. I think everybody's looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
Well, it's time for a quick water break, but after you get hydrated, come back here because there's more Red Zone on deck.